It is September 9th, 2023. We're here at the back of the property located at 2285 Amatista Road in Del Mar, California, 92014. We're going to inspect the main sewer for the property, and outside this lower level we have a 4-inch ABS cleanout. We have a master bathroom on the second level, and then across from here on this floor we have another bathroom. The other side of the house just has the kitchen and the laundry in the garage. There's no main sewer over there. The kitchen and laundry pipes are all plastic ABS. This is obviously also, again, 4-inch ABS plastic, so we do want to see that rather than cast iron. So we'll go through here and take a look at the entire condition of the system. A little bit of standing water right here, but this is no problem because this is not part of the drain system, sewer system yet. It's just the clean out. You get a little flush back from debris that'll come back across here. So as long as this goes away by the time we get to the T-junctions that pick up the actual plumbing, that won't be an issue. So you can see we're dragging that little bit of debris in front of our lens. There we go, finally cleared that off. So there we go. We're going to back up a little bit on the line here. We're about 15 feet in. We're just going to make sure, running backwards, we don't see any T-junctions. There's a little hump right there where it has that debris. Looks like our T-junctions are coming up right here. So it was past this mark. Okay, here's our T-junctions right here on the system. So this is picking up the bathrooms. There we go, wash that off our lens. See, there's the T-junction on the upper right-hand side right there. And then another vertical T-junction right there in the very top of the pipe, picking up the sewer itself. So this is the beginning of the sewer entirely right there. So we'll now push through the line, make sure we don't have any areas that now hold water from this point on. Another T-junction right there you can see off to the upper right. Another T-junction there for the sewer. Might be what's picking from upstairs, the master. Vertical T-junction right there for another connection. So that picked up both of the two bathrooms that are kind of above each other in some respects. And then we go across here. We have another T-junction off the right. This could be picking up the last of the bathroom from upstairs, and also could be picking up where the laundry and or kitchen combination dump into the system. So again, everything is plastic ABS, so that's what you want to see. No cast iron. We may have clay when we get out farther enough out, but depends on how the neighborhood was built. So not finding any construction debris. We're not seeing any illegal connections. We're not seeing any sags or bellies that are holding water in the actual sewer drain system. Only that beginning of the line did, but that was just the clean out leading to the beginning of the system, so not a problem. Some cobwebs there. Okay, so we have a turn on the line right here. This could be the property line clean out. We're out about 60 feet. That may put us in the front yard, and so or even front of the sidewalk somewhat, which would be the property line, and that's where the horizontal pipe typically will make a transition like this to go vertical to get deeper for the line. So we do have a clean out here. That's what that T is. May or may not be brought to surface. We didn't do a really complete scan of the front yard, but we're going to go ahead and look for this right now because our camera system may or may not continue all the way out past here. We're going to push it right now, but we just want to see if we're able to make all the turns. And it is plastic, as you can see so far, so we're able to get through the second 90. But sometimes pushing further down from this can be a little complicated, so we still also want to know if that clean out is accessible, so if there is any stoppages farther out, you don't have to go from this one at the very back of the house and go 70 feet or so to get to it. So here's this transition and possible clean out. So we're going to leave our camera right here. We're going to pause the video and locate this. Okay, so we've gone ahead and located this property line clean out. We have water running right now as well to see if we can try to use this to get our camera by, because this has not been brought to surface. And we took a couple digging tools and prodded around where this area was that we picked up with our locator, and it's not within just 6 inches of the ground, or we went through the dirt, hit some pebble rock. So we marked this area though with a green flag just for future reference, and we'll show that at the end of the video. So the sewer pipe here to the bottom of the pipe is a little over 2.5 feet deep. We were sometimes getting as much as 2 feet 11 to the bottom of the pipe. So on our flag we noted that the clean out's about 32 inches deep, so about 2.5 to 2 feet 8 inches deep, and it might even be slightly less since that protrudes up, but we don't know how far. So we've got water running right now to go ahead and try to get through the rest of this system and out to the street, just to verify that there's no issues, again, with any of the remaining sewer out, which we wouldn't expect, because if there was, we would probably see wear indicator marks on this back clean out where they were having to snake and clean out the line, or they would have actually exposed that sewer clean out at the property line that we just showed. So this camera is very stiff push rods now, allowing us to get through the line. So we're going to pull this back right here, and we're going to pause the video and change out to a different camera that may allow us to get through these turns and a little bit farther out downstream, just to verify. We don't expect to see any problems past this point because of the condition and the type of pipe here. It's what we'd want to see, but we're going to obviously give it one more attempt with a different camera. Okay, so we're with our second camera. We pushed all the way back into this property line clean out, so we'll see if this one will maneuver through here. It's not as stiff as a push rod, so it sometimes can't push, but sometimes it can make turns better. So we'll see with the running water if we're able to get through here, but we may still not be able to. We cannot guarantee. 2 quick 90s in a row like this hold everything up. Okay, we were able to get through there, so you can see we're in the clay right now. We're going to push through really fast and then shut the water off and pull back and verify if those were any roots intruding in the clay. Okay, there's the city line right there. So you can see we're just about 96 feet out. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and shut the water off. Okay, so we just shut all the water off, and we were also testing for hot water. The home inspector had noted not very high water temps, but we ran all 4 lavatory faucets, and we did get 118 degrees basically through all the fixtures in these 2 bathrooms, so it is normal. The heater's functioning normal. We don't know if it's been cleaned properly. There's also an improper, out-of-code pump system that was installed, and the pump that's there is also dead because it was installed outside, and none of them are waterproof from rain and weather. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and pull back here now and look at this clay pipe. So we basically just dumped into the city. So we're in the street right now, headed back towards the house. So clay pipe comes in the longest section of just 4 feet. So you're going to see these hubs where 2 pieces of clay are joined together, and they're just pushed together with a lubricated rubber boot that's greased up. So they're very susceptible if there's trees in the area for roots to want to grow in there over time. It's nothing you'd ever have to dig up and repair or replace. It's just you'd have to maintain it. And to do that, you would need access to that property line clean out that's buried in the front yard. So we're just seeing some little buildup on those hubs, but no actual root intrusions yet. So everything is looking good. Or it's not going to oops, we just lost our... I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so we apologize. For some reason our camera glitched out. We don't know if it was the computer on the recording module or the camera itself, the wiring. But anyway, we're back to 0 on the counter here. So we're going to pull back through again the rest of this clay pipe and verify there's no root intrusions that need to be maintained. We maintain it via chain knocking or hydrojetting. Okay, with the clay, excuse me, is cracked right here. So you can see from some settling movement of some type, the clay pipe has a crack in it right there in the bottom and right past the hub. So there's the hub. you can see the crack on the bottom of it, and then a few inches in you can see that fissure line, and at that fissure line you can see that little bit of gunk that's trying to come through the line. That's some type of growth or vegetation possibly trying to get through. Doesn't need anything right now. Over time, if some type of vegetation from a big tree is all it would be, somehow starts to get into there, then this line would need to be treated and maintained. So we have a foaming root chemical that can be poured down the line to kill off vegetation that's growing in. And then again, it can be hydrojetted or chain knocked to grow out. So we have this one small little hiccup right here. We're not going to run water again, so we're going to leave our camera right here, and we're going to go ahead and locate this to see where this is at, if it's on the sidewalk or the street still. Okay, locator beacon appeared to be where the pipe was about 7.5 feet deep under the middle of the sidewalk area. So we're going to pull back, make sure we have nothing else in the line, and see if that's about the 12-foot distance or so we are from the clean out. It does appear to be. So you can see there's our first transition back into the plastic already. So this is definitely under the sidewalk. So again, nothing to be overly concerned about. Clay pipe is really thick. The fissure you're seeing right there, it's going to be all the way through the pipe, but the clay pipe is about 3 times as thick as plastic ABS or cast iron. It's typically not going to go ahead and fall apart and cause an issue where you have to go ahead and do some kind of lining. We would never dig this up because it's under the city sidewalk. If there was ever some kind of issue, you would simply have to expose that property line clean out that we are going to show here in a little bit, and you would shoot a spray liner in there to coat this, to give it, reseal it, and create essentially a thin-walled new pipe inside of this one. It's a fiberglass sleeve with epoxy that reinforces the inside of the line. So that's about $4,000 to do something like that. Typically, it could be a little less, but again, not needed right now, and I don't expect that that's going to become more of an issue in the future, but just as a point of reference in case you're wondering. So again, here's all the new plastic ABS that's just on their side of the sidewalk, running across the front yard, and now we're coming back up the vertical pipe, and then back to that property line clean out right here. So you can see in the top of the pipe, that's where it opens up for an access point if you ever had to snake or clear the line. There's nothing in the system that tells us that you need to expose this right now. But again, this would also though be the point where you would dig up and expose this pipe at this T-junction, because you would cut out this T-junction and you would go ahead and line from here over to that clay if it ever somehow got worse. We don't expect that to be an issue. So everything else is good on the system, and under the house, within the house, you're going to have still localized stoppages, obviously, of individual sinks clogging from too much shampoo, soap scum, hair, skin, shaving cream, toothpaste, etc. And the lav sinks in the kitchen with all the fat and grease, laundry with same thing with suds and lint debris. But the main sewer itself is in good condition, no issues with it, and it is plastic, is what you want. So that concludes the recording for this portion. We're going to pause and move to the front yard just to show the property line clean out marking flag that we left on the property. Okay, so move to the front of the house. So we just wanted to go ahead and show here in the landscaping in between the bushes right here. This is the property line clean out at 32 inches deep. And again, it may be raised up higher than that if for some reason you ever needed access to the plug. But the pipe itself, the top of the pipe is going to be right around 32 inches deep to get to that horizontal before it transitions to the vertical. So we'll leave this flag on the ground right next to this stepping stone. You can see it's in between these two stepping stones in front of that second to last pillar. Right in front of this bush. This is the last bush in front, and then it runs across about, again, 5.5 feet. There's the sidewalk. So right there on the sidewalk where our roll of paper towel and wrench is, that's where the pipe is 7.5 feet deep, and that's where the small crack fissure is in the bottom of that clay pipe that has that little bit of buildup that's growing in there, possibly from one of the roots of the bushes or a little bit of landscaping here. but again, doesn't require anything now. It may never require any cleaning of anything, but that's where that's located at. So that concludes the recording for this property.